drink this every single day until you don't have joint pain anymore. If we talk about joint pain, just because someone has inflammation in the joint doesn't mean they have arthritis. If you're eating things that are going to negate or even cause inflammation, this little remedy that you take to counter that is not going to work. Before I talk about what you need to add into the diet to resolve your joint pain, let's talk about what you need to avoid in the diet. Sugar, high fructose corn syrup. If you're doing too much of that, you're going to literally put fire into your joints. The second thing is to avoid this stuff right here, seed oils. Seed oils like corn oil, soy oil, canola are very high in omega-6 fatty acids. It creates more inflammation versus the omega-3 fatty acids, fish oils, cod liver oil, that's very anti-inflammatory. Then we have gluten. Anything with gluten, we're talking about wheat and other grains, has a potential for causing a lot of inflammation, not just in your joints, but also in your gut. You also have something called oxalates. Oxalates are crystal-like sharp things that can go into the joints and cause inflammation, and they can also cause kidney stones. And I really think that the people that have problems with oxalates are people that had a history of antibiotics, because you have a microbe in your gut that's supposed to eat up these oxalates. And if it's missing because you had an antibiotic long ago, then you're more susceptible to having this arthritic pain from oxalates, especially when you have spinach, chocolate, almonds, and Swiss chard. If you consume more magnesium in your diet, you can actually really bring these oxalates way down, even if you eat the foods high in oxalates. Then you have other things too that can flare up your joints, like MSG. You're going to find that in fast food restaurants. Maltodextrin is a highly refined starch that can also flare up your joints. It's in a lot of processed foods. Then you have nightshades, potatoes, peppers, tomatoes. The last chemical I want to talk about is lectins. That would be in beans, peanuts, wheat, and especially soy products. Lectins can increase inflammation. And of course, the diet that I recommend doesn't include any of those. So if you just follow that diet, which I'll put a link down below, you'll be really safe. Let's get right into that drink I'm going to recommend for getting rid of inflammation in your joints. And the big ingredient in this is turmeric. And I recommend getting turmeric in a powder. And we're just going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. Take this glass, half water and half coconut milk, because it's going to be really creamy if you do that, and it's going to taste great. And you're going to stir this up really nice. And I would take like a little pinch of black pepper, because that'll increase the absorption by 2,000%. And then on top of that, I recommend putting a scoop of collagen powder. For most people, it should taste fine. It should taste quite delicious. For some people, you might need to add a couple drops of liquid stevia if you really need to, but I think you'll just like the taste of it. It's kind of a creamy, aromatic turmeric flavor with a little taste of coconut, but that is going to be the shake, and you want to drink that down every single day. And for some people, they actually heat it up a little bit, not too hot, just so it becomes nice and warm, and they might drink that as a nice warm drink. It really doesn't matter if you're having it in the morning and at night, but I do recommend for most people have it in the morning. That way you can kind of be pain-free all day long. The thing you need to realize is turmeric compares in effectiveness to ibuprofen and other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. If you take turmeric in the supplement, I would recommend 1,000 or 1,500 milligram doses per day. But turmeric inhibits at least 4 major inflammatory pathways. And then the black pepper increases the absorption. And then there's also great things in coconut too, especially being a nice fat to help this fat-soluble compound be absorbed even more. And of course, the collagen can help build up your joints on top of everything else I talked about. Now let's talk about Boswellia serrata. In research in 2018 in the Phytomedicine Journal, Boswellia serrata showed significant joint pain relief and as effective as NSAIDs. And guess what? Without side effects. It's amazing. This plant lives in very dry, harsh climates in certain countries like India and Asian countries, regions of the earth where there's harsh deserts. And there's a resin that is formed and created when there's damage to the bark. This particular chemical, it's a response to a physical wound in the bark, which is wild. So basically, you're consuming something from stressed out trees. And then when we consume this particular thing, it creates a low dose stress in our bodies that then cause our own body to create antioxidant chemicals to then get rid of inflammation. The term for that is called hormesis, which is like a controlled stress to improve our survival, just like exercise is hormesis. We're actually adding stress to make us healthier. Well, we can do that with various compounds in plants. With this thing called boswellia, we are taking something to potently decrease our inflammation in our joints. It compares with medications, but without side effects. Now that you have the drink for joint pain, let's shift to the best exercise for joint pain. And it's called walking. Walking compares to hardcore medicine, but without any side effects. It's not just for your joints, it's for extending your life. No exaggeration. Check it out. I put that video right here. Watch it now.